is a...
Oh, man! Whoa!
2, 3, 4. The referee taking a look at Perry, who's eaten everything. That one caught him good. Paul.
I think that's the one.
Right hand. This may be it. Right hand. And he's down for a third time.
Oh.
And now wave it off. There is a new king of violence.
Yeah. And he took shots at you. He called you some derogative term. Any message for Conor McGregor?
So Conor's on Twitter all the time. He's on his yacht all the time, but guess where he's not? In the ring fighting me. So
Mike Tyson, you're next, big boys. I'm excited for that one. I'm gonna go home, prepare for that. Sign the contract, November 15th on Netflix.
he was big upping his boy Mike Pereira. I said, okay, Conor, like after I up Mike Perry, then you're next. But the notorious MMA is scared of Jake Joseph Paul from Disney Channel.
Jake Paul dominated Mike Perry on Saturday night, sending the bare-knuckle fighter to the mat 3 times in knockdowns before securing a 6th-round TKO victory. From the outset, Paul aggressively jabbed at Perry, leaving his opponent's face smeared in red. Despite absorbing some tough hits, Paul's boxing prowess allowed him to control the fight. Speaking in the ring, Paul praised Perry's toughness, saying, "Man, he's tough as nails. I apologize for the delay, Tampa, but I appreciate the support." The 17,000-strong crowd erupted in applause. Perry acknowledged Paul's superior speed and skill, commenting, "I tried to absorb your punches and strike back, but you were too quick for me. You did a great job." The decisive and bloody win now paves the way for a much-anticipated bout against Mike Tyson. Paul confirmed the fight is set for November 15th.
Rope is a...
Oh, man! Whoa!
2, 3, 4. The referee taking a look at Perry, who's eaten everything. That one caught him good. Paul.
I think that's the one.
Right hand. This may be it. Right hand. And he's down for a third time.
Oh.
And now wave it off. There is a new king of violence.
Mike Tyson reacts to Jake's win. Although many saw Jake fighting Mike Perry as an unnecessary risk that could well have jeopardized the Tyson match, however, the so-called problem child was ultimately rewarded as he sent a firm message to Tyson with a bruising 3-knockdown display against a hugely durable and tough opponent that included a vicious barrage to force the referee to step in and end the fight in round 6, despite complaining afterwards of not feeling well and dealing with a damaged knuckle.
Mike Tyson, you're next, big boys. I'm excited for that one. I'm gonna go home, prepare for that. Sign the contract, November 15th on Netflix.
Tyson's recent health issue, age, and the initial postponement has led some to question if the meeting with Paul will ever actually come to fruition, but it seems that both men are fully committed to the new date. "Mike Tyson, you're next, big boy. Sign the contract," Paul said in the ring after beating Perry. "November 15th on Netflix. I'm excited for that one. I'm going to go home and prepare for that." He added on Tyson, "It's happening November 15th. Mike Tyson is training. He's back, looking crazier than ever. I'm going to get another KO and prove everyone wrong once again. Everyone said I was an idiot for taking this fight, that I was risking it, but this is why I'm here. I take big risks. Mike, I love you, but this is my sport. You're a legend. You're one of the 2 most famous boxers ever to live, you and Muhammad Ali. It's an honor to get in the ring with you. I'm so honored. You're a legend, but I'm going to take your throne, brother." Tyson responded to Paul's emphatic win over Perry on social media website X with a video of him watching the fight and a countdown to the November 15th date listed in days, weekends, hours, minutes, and seconds. With the hashtags Tyson Paul, The Clock is Ticking, and Jake's Wake. Alex Pereira's reaction to Jake's call-out. For most, Jake Paul's decision to call out Alex Pereira to a fight right after defeating Mike Perry seemed like a ridiculous idea. Him being him, he still went ham with his call-out despite having Mike Tyson on standby, as their much-awaited rescheduled bout is set to take place in November. But guess what? It did not take much time for Poatan to take notice of the call-out, and he called Paul via FaceTime just seconds after the call-out after the former defeated Mike Perry.
Hey, let's run it. Will Dana let you out?
Will Dana let you there, sir?
Yes.
We'll talk to him. Yeah. Hey.
Falou, quanto mais alta eles são, mais for maior.
Yeah, no, I mean, I want everybody. I love this sport. You know, these guys aren't their own bosses. So we got him on the FaceTime right there in the ring. And I said, yo, can you get out of your contract? I asked him that. He had a pause. He looked at his manager. At the end of the day, will Dana let him out? That's too big of a risk if I could embarrass his #1 praised fighter right now. Who's next? He's the king right now of the UFC. So I want him. I'm going to decapitate him and dethrone him.
Alex Pereira recently posted a video clip of him FaceTiming the problem child as the latter tried to convince the UFC champion to take the fight, saying, "Hey, let's run it." How do you think Poatan responded? Well, the Brazilian ace seemed excited about that proposition. "Chama, let's go, my guy," said Alex Pereira, which was one of the very few instances when we've heard him talk in English. But the biggest question Jake Paul had was about Dana White and if he'd be willing to let him take the boxing match. The video wasn't clear, but it seemed like Pereira's mentor, Glover Teixeira, replied to Paul, "We'll talk to him, we'll talk to him." The champion then added an excited "yeah." What do you guys think? Could this be one we can count on?
Alex Pereira, you said you want to box. I'm the king of this. I'm the king of this.
You want the UFC light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira?
Indeed. Come over. We can make it happen. I want you, Alex Pereira. Indeed. I just beat a BKFC champion. I beat multiple UFC champions. After Mike Tyson, let's make it happen.
Conor McGregor fires Perry. Conor McGregor couldn't help but praise Mike Perry's choice of walkout music before dissecting his loss to Jake Paul. The two Americans faced off in Florida on Saturday night, with Paul flooring Perry 3 times en route to a 6th-round knockout victory. However, it was the pre-fight theatrics that caught McGregor's attention. Perry, age 32, entered to Thuggish Ruggish Bone by Bone Thugs and Harmony, an Ohio-based rap group. Ironically, McGregor had just signed the group to his record label Greenback Records earlier that day. McGregor announced the deal on Twitter, proclaiming, "The notorious thug era has begun. I welcome the greatest rap group of all time to Greenback Recs, Bone Thugs and Harmony." McGregor, whose distinctive laugh is featured on the track, was thrilled to hear it being used by Perry. Prior to the fight, McGregor took to social media to express his delight, stating, "What a song! Bone Thugs and Harmony for Greenback Records right now live for the main event walkout of our bare knuckler." He added, "What a beat! Greenback Records, baby." McGregor's delight did not last particularly long. After seeing Perry brutally defeated, though, he threatened to sack the American from his bare-knuckle boxing promotion BKFC in response. "Hey Mike, you're released and you can go and compete in your smelly, dirty boxing championship thing. The smell of it. Good luck," McGregor wrote. "You're fired."
Conor McGregor tweeted about the Dirty Boxing Championship logo.
And we're both owners of BKFC, so you can't fire me. No, man, I appreciate you talking about it, whatever. He doesn't have a promotion. He'll fight Jake Paul in boxing with the gloves on. I think it'll be worse. Conor McGregor versus Mayweather.
Perry piped back by claiming he cannot simply be sacked. He responded, "He doesn't have permission because we're both owners of BKFC, so he can't fire me. We can fight in bare knuckle. Look at me, I lost to Jake Paul. Why doesn't he fight Jake Paul in boxing with gloves on? I think it'll be worse than his fight with Floyd Mayweather." McGregor's social media hijinks were not finished there. He also took aim at eventual victor Jake Paul, accusing the former YouTuber of taking performance-enhancing drugs. Aljamain Sterling also shared on X post, "I know there's a size difference in a lot of Paul fights, but the man is constantly improving in each fight. Credit to him for that part. I would like to see him fight more guys his size like he did with the Fury fight. He could do something in this sport for sure." Ike Valley Flag said, "Jake Paul is the future." Josh Thompson had his own say. "How long are we going to pretend that Jake Paul is beating people his size or his age? The one person he fought his size and age he lost to." Aljamain Sterling didn't hold back either. Respected Jake Paul for embracing combat sports and winning, but we need one for the MMA guys. Great scrap so far. Can't count Perry out, and Jake boxing very well. His costume has become a subject of discussion as well. An example of this posted by Rampage Jackson himself, Jake Paul out here looking like a French maid. Dustin Jacoby, on the other hand, wants to try his own luck. I promise on everything I love I would beat Jake Paul in a boxing match. Respect to Mike Perry, but he wouldn't stand a chance with me. While Derek Brunson sang tunes of the wild future ahead. There's no way they still do Tyson versus Paul. Who is next? So, who's next to face the man who traded YouTube influence for the spotlight of professional fighting? Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has hinted that Jake Paul could be his next opponent following his return to boxing. The Mexican boxer, known for battling personal challenges, expressed his determination to continue his comeback in the sport. Chavez Jr. recently marked his return to the ring after 945 days by defeating Jamaican Uriah Hall in a unanimous decision on Saturday at Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. Speaking with ESPN's Salvador Rodriguez post-fight, he affirmed his readiness to compete and mentioned his interest in facing either a world champion or Jake Paul. For Chavez Jr., this fight was his first since December 18, 2021, when he triumphed over David Zagara in Culiacan, Sinaloa. Meanwhile, American submission grappler and mixed martial artist Dylan Dani has also been monitoring Jake Paul closely. At 30 years old, Dani wasn't impressed with what he witnessed so far. Jake only fights guys he's sparred with and knows he has a size advantage over, Dani posted on X. Stop giving this con artist attention. Dani didn't stop there. He issued a direct challenge. If Jake Paul can knock me out, every single person who likes this will get $50,000. I'll put it in my contract. 1 hour after posting that, there are around 18,000 likes. I make that 900K and counting. Not everyone is sold on the hype surrounding Jake Paul, including Conor McGregor, who didn't hold back in his assessment. Jake Paul is the biggest coward I've ever seen, the Irishman began, leveling some serious accusations. A 40-pound weight difference, juiced up to his eyeballs, and still terrified in the ring. Nakisa, you should take him to Vegas. Oh wait, you can't. Real Athletic Commission testing. McGregor's critique was scathing, to say the least.
As soon as your fight ended, Conor McGregor said Mike Perry was fired from the BKFC. And
He wants payday. Payday. We made the offer, and he hasn't accepted it. So it ain't years if that.
Yeah. And he took shots at you. He called you some derogative term. Any message for Conor McGregor?
So Conor's on Twitter all the time. He's on his yacht all the time, but guess where he's not? In the ring fighting me. So he was big upping his boy Mike Perry. I said, okay, Conor, like after I fuck up Mike Perry, then you're next. But the notorious MMA is scared of Jake Joseph Paul from Disney Channel.
With another win under his belt, Jake Paul will likely take some time to savor the victory before deciding on his next lucrative bout. Thousands of fans are eagerly awaiting to see if Dylan Dani gets his shot in the ring.